Are you looking to quit your job and go full-time as a freelance designer in this year, 2021, but you have zero clients? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you 4 steps that you need to take if you want to become a full-time freelance graphic designer. Now, right off the bat, no, I don't have any course to sell you or some program that I want you to enter. This is simply a person who was able to start his full-time freelance design career just last year, 2020. And I want to give you some advice and some things that I've learned that can possibly help you if you're looking to start a career this year, 2021. Now, why would you listen to me? I just started last year. On my first year as a freelance graphic designer, I was able to earn more than $100,000. And no, I don't have some scheme or some gimmick to give to you. This is just some things that I did that I think would be a personal benefit to you, and hope you can learn from these things. Now, as a disclaimer, this video is for those people who already know things about design, meaning you have the foundation, you already know how to do graphic design or web design, whatever you're looking to do. So this is not going to be a tutorial how to get started with Photoshop. This is simply how you can start your freelance graphic design business. With that being said, let's get into the 4 steps that you need to take to start your freelance design journey. And the first thing you need to do before you even take that first step of being a freelancer is super important. So make sure you listen and make sure you key in. I'm looking at you right now, you watching on your phone or on your computer. Make sure you listen to this. You need to get your finances in order. Now, I know how it is. You have all these dreams and these visions of chilling at a hipster coffee shop with your mustache or your beard, and you're typing away in your laptop creating all these cool creations as a graphic designer. Or you're at a beach and you're getting sand all over your MacBook, but it's okay, man. You're making the big bucks as a freelance graphic designer. And you're probably tired of your 9-to-5 job, you're tired of your boss, and you wanna just forget all about it and quit and go ahead and be a freelance designer. But before you do that, you got to make sure you have your finances set in order. Now, what are some ways that you need to do? Well, first of all, you got to make sure that you calculate what are your monthly expenses. How much is your rent? How much is your mortgage? How much is your car payment? How much money do you spend on gas, groceries? How much are your credit card bills? Maybe you have student loan bills, or all these things that you have to take care of that you have to pay for. Make sure you have about maybe 3 to 6 months expense in or that you're even if you get no clients whatsoever for the next 3 or 6 months, you're taken care of. You see, as a freelance designer, you're not going to get clients right away, especially if you're starting from scratch and you have no clients. You're probably not going to get a client until later on. And also, probably those early clients are going to be the ones that are not going to spend as much. They're not going to be willing to spend as much to a newer designer such as yourself. Now, how can you get this 3-month buffer? Well, number one, if you're in the United States right now and you're in 2021, you better make sure you save that stimulus money that can help you jumpstart your career. No, don't buy the new PS5 or the new MacBook if you don't need it. Make sure you save that stimulus money and you set that aside so that you have money for your monthly expenses. Or you could do something like I did, which is I did not quit my job right away. What I did was I was working, but I was also doing my freelance design. I was building my freelance design business on the side. I know that's probably not what you want to hear. We want to hear of someone just quitting everything and, resigning that day, throwing something at their boss and quitting and making all the money be successful. But honestly, most of the time, that's not the case. When I started my freelance design career or business, I was still working. I was actually working like 2 jobs. I was working at a church, and at a full-time at a church, while also being a remote, which was, by the grace of God, I was a remote web designer for a company up in Northern California, while I was still also building my graphic design business, my freelance business on the side. Maybe that's what you need to do. Instead of quitting everything right away, work your job, and on the weekends or at nighttime, go ahead and create some projects and start your freelance design business going. Or maybe you're in a situation where you're able to cut down some hours. What I actually did is at my church, I ended up working halfway, and I was only part-time teaching. I was at my church or at my school for about 3 hours a day, and I would bill, and that's when it was a little later in my freelance design career, because I had enough money to pay, to provide for my income, as an income to provide for my needs. So I was working part-time at my church while also making money as a freelance design business. So instead of it just a stop and then go full-time freelancing, it was a gradual transition into that. Maybe that's what we need to do. And to be honest, that's what most people do. And that may be the wisest thing to do. You see, you have to, first of all, before you get into this, you got to learn this. What is your risk? What is your tolerance for risk? Now, what do you mean by that? How much risk are you willing to take, or how much risk can you take if you were to become a freelance designer? Now, there's different situations that can determine your tolerance for risk. For example, if you're maybe in your 20s and you're single and you don't have rent to pay, maybe you live with your parents, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, I was living with my parents till I was married. That's totally fine. If you are by yourself, you're single, you're in your 20s, you have no one to provide for, you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and your parents pay for your rent, your tolerance for risk is so much. You can risk, and that's totally fine, because even if you don't have income for a month or 2 months, it's not like your parents going to kick you out of your house, right? Maybe some of you will, or it's not like you're not going to have food on the table if you got your mom's, awesome cooking at home. So your tolerance for risk is a lot lower. Now, when I started becoming a freelance designer, my tolerance for risk was very, very low. Why was that? You see, when I became a full-time freelance designer, I was already married and I had 2 children already. I had one that was 1.5 years old and a newborn baby about 4 months old, and my wife was not working. So my tolerance for risk was a lot lower than someone else starting in their 20s who was single. So what did I do? It was a gradual thing. I wasn't going to be stupid and not take care of my family as their father, right? And so make sure you know what your tolerance for risk is. Get your finances in order. And by the way, what's awesome is that now there are so many avenues for you to go ahead and get and have that supplemental income, whether it be driving for Uber, driving DoorDash while you're building your graphic design business. I mean, I remember there was one summer where I did DoorDash as a husband and a father. I drove DoorDash, and while I would be delivering food with DoorDash, I'd be listening to podcasts and learning how to get clients and learning to level up at my business, and also making phone calls and all these things while I was earning money as a DoorDash driver. You got to do what you got to do. All right. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but make sure you get your finances in order before you even step out into being a full-time freelancer. Whew, that was a long one. I know that was too long, but the next 3 are going to be super short, I promise. Secondly, you want to make sure pick a lane. What is it that you want to do? Now, I know as graphic designers, we want to do everything. I'm one of those. Like I'm interested in everything. All right. Even with this YouTube channel, you can see in the very beginning, my videos are kind of everywhere because I'm interested in everything. As a graphic designer, you're interested in everything. You want to do illustration. You want to do postcards. You want to do posters. You want to do websites. You want to do UX. You want to create apps. You want to be a developer. You want to, every time a new design software comes in, you want to learn how to use it. I know how it is, but you've got to pick a lane, pick a niche, pick a specialty that you're going to be known for, that you want to be known for, that you want to be specialized in, and then you head there. Now, this might not be right away. You may kind of, as you're doing this, you're figuring out what it is. You're figuring out what you really want. Is it illustration? Is it animation? Is it 3D graphics? Is it web? With me personally, I went to the web design and web development route. If that's what you want to do, then advertise yourself as that. So pick a lane, because this will pretty much determine what kind of clients you'll have, the type of clients you're going to have, also what kind of your portfolio, what your website will be, all these things. So make sure you go ahead and pick a lane. What is it that you want to do? And then stick to it and head there. And your brand will be this. Your social media will revolve around this. Your website will revolve around this. Now this may take some time because we don't want to sacrifice things, right? But what happens is, by the way, when you pick a niche, what happens is it opens up for these other opportunities as well. So, but that's another talk for another time. So make sure you pick a lane. Number 3, this one's very key that a lot of people don't really talk about, but it's super important, especially if you want to get clients and level up. Join online communities. Now, this is advice that probably would not have been given 5-6 years ago because there wasn't really that such thing as an online community. But now you have these things like Facebook groups, you have paid private groups, right, to level up. You have masterminds. Right now, there's a new app called Clubhouse that I have joined, and I've talked to even several people and have gotten close to getting clients from Clubhouse as a web designer. There's these Discord groups and Slack groups that you can join. There's so many things that you can do. There's so many online communities now that you can be a part of. And this is a place where you can make genuine connections. And by the way, time out right here. Make genuine connections in these online communities. Don't just see them as business opportunities. Don't just see the people that you connect with in these places as dollar signs on their head because they're potential clients. No, these are genuine people. These are real people that you want to create genuine connections with, no matter if they give you business or not. And if you do that correctly, if you do it genuinely, a lot of times they will give you business. Last year, my biggest client came from a Facebook group that I was a part of. One of the people in that Facebook group reached out to me, hey, you're interested in taking on a website for a client? And this client gave me work amounting up to $35,000. And these are only 2 website projects. That's it. 2 website projects, $35,000. This came from a Facebook group. And I've gotten so many opportunities and also was able to get a lot of leads from people that I made genuine connections with in this Facebook group. So join online communities. That's actually more like a cheat code to speed up and getting clients. You can get right away if you just join these online communities. You can start freelancing for these established design agencies. You can start freelancing or even getting clients from these Facebook groups. And then lastly, this is the one that you want to start doing once you already have your finances in order. Once you've picked a lane, this understanding, you already have your website, you got your portfolio, all these things, you've got your case studies, you've joined online communities. Next, you want to work on building an audience. Now, this may be hard. This is the long game for some people. All right. You want to build an audience, whether it be in LinkedIn, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be on YouTube, which is what I'm doing right now. Some people may be faster than this, or you could be like me, RR, who's super slow at building an audience, and that's totally fine. But when you do that, something just flew in my nose. But when you do that, then these people are all of a sudden they want to work with you because they see you're putting yourself out there. Remember this: the opportunities will not come if the opportunities don't know about you. Some graphic designers are like hidden treasure. I mean, they are the best designers in the world, but no one knows about them. They're buried treasure. But you got to put yourself out there. Man, post content on LinkedIn. That's where you get high quality clients. Post tweets on Twitter. Connect with people on these social media sites. Post videos on YouTube. Post your work on Instagram or Behance. Everywhere. Just put yourself out there and build an audience, and then these clients will come and they'll want to work with you. You are staying top of mind to these people. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to be a lot of sleepless nights, late nights working. But if you do that, and if you do this correctly and do this genuinely, you'll be able to build a career where you're able to provide for yourself, where you're able to provide for your family, and be able to go on vacation whenever you want. Like it's pretty cool because like whenever family members say, hey, you want to go on vacation, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. What's all I need? It's not, if I've got my computer and I've got Wi-Fi, I can work wherever, right? So it's pretty cool. Make sure you follow these steps and let me know in the comments below how that goes. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something from it. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe if it's one of the points that helped you. It's always encouraging to see comments from people that watch the videos and actually learn and are inspired or you're helped by it. That really makes my day. Also, do me a favor, click the like button, help this video get up in the algorithm a little bit, and also consider subscribing. This channel is for us to give tips and tools for you graphic designers out there. Whatever I can do to help you, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace.